Hey everybody, Russ the Millennial Numismatist here, and I have something very special for you today. So recently there was the Central States Numismatic Society's coin show here in Illinois, in Schaumburg, the other week, and I got a chance to finally meet somebody that I've talked to a lot before, who does some very, very interesting work in our community. Jack Young has a very interesting shtick. His entire shtick in numismatics is he finds fake coins in genuine holders, so coins that are not real, that the major grading services have slabbed and graded as genuine. He has an incredible back catalog, over 50 articles. It's called The Dark Side, and like I said, he posts some just incredible stuff. And Jack is a savant, and he is an expert at spotting counterfeits. One of the other really cool things that he had, and that he graciously let me take a couple to add to my own reference collection for Harlan J. Burke Limited, which means I get to share it with all of you as well, were some coins that aren't quite what they appear. So basically what these are, and you will see these here right about now through the magic of editing. Right, and welcome to what I like to call Desk View. So, Jack Young hooked me up with some really cool pieces that I get to share with you and hopefully educate you guys so you don't get fooled. So what I have here is a very fake PCGS slab and a very fake 1899 Morgan silver dollar. So these are flowing pretty steadily out of China, and I have heard tell that even some of them are being produced in the States. Now, the thing that's scary about fake slabs is, well, I mean, we all trust slabs. You know, they're supposed to be the final word on a coin. You're supposed to be able to look at it and even buy it sight unseen. So these can be really scary for people. I showed these to a few collectors at the Central States show, and a few of them that I actually do consider pretty darn good collectors were fooled by it because it's that false sense of security that comes with a slab. So let me teach you guys how to spot one of these fake PCGS slabs so you don't get got. All right, so first we're going to look at the font and the color of the label. It's just a little bit off. It looks like a kind of like a little bit newer style. This is an authentic 1885 O, and you can see a couple of things going on here. This is technically a little bit later generation, a little bit earlier generation than our 1899 fake, but it illustrates our purposes pretty darn well. So, first of all, the font that is on the fake, which is this one here, it's just a little bit off. It looks odd. It's pretty close, but it's not quite there. The shade of the blue is pretty good. I mean, I've seen some really faded ones, and so that would pass the sniff test. But let me show you what is a big red flag specifically for this coin on the label. So we have 1899 PCGS MS64, and then under it says Morgan. Okay, this is interesting for a couple reasons, because there's no reason for that label to say Morgan. We weren't striking any other silver dollars in 1899. In 1921, you will see Morgan silver dollars that say Morgan under them because, of course, we were striking peace dollars at the same time. So generally what happens with these Chinese counterfeiters is they take an authentic coin or an authentic slab, and basically they re-engineer it, but sometimes they don't change things on it. So my guess is that at one point, they used a template for a 1921 Morgan, an authentic 1921 Morgan slab by PCGS, and they just stuck with putting Morgan at the bottom of it. So that doesn't make sense. So that's one of our big giveaways. Our second big giveaway on this label is going to be the actual number. So if you look at the number, the first number before the slash, that is the internal PCGS number. That's basically the coin ID. So basically, if you type that number in, that is what an 1899 silver dollar is for PCGS. The numbers that precede it are the actual certification numbers. So theoretically, you would be able to go to pcgs.com/verify and type this number in, and you would get a result that yes, it's an 1899 Morgan, it's graded PCGS MS64, blah blah blah. If you do that with this number, it will return no results.
more than likely PCGS caught wind of these and killed that number. That happens pretty often. PCGS is pretty good about it. Guys like Jack that notice these submit those things to PCGS so that they can take them down. So hopefully they don't fool people. A big takeaway of that is, as a collector, I would absolutely have PCGS up on your phone and ready to go if you're going to buy one of their coins, and just verify the number. There's no harm in doing it, and it doesn't take all that long either. So there are your label things that you should watch out for. Before I get to the rest of it, we're going to look on the back because this also involves the label. So this is the back of the slab. Now this is kind of interesting because it has this here. This is the symbol for PCGS's NFC technology. So if you don't know what that is, basically if you have it turned on in your phone, your NFC capability, you can tap that and it will automatically pop up the certification information. So PCGS started doing this a few years ago, and they're most famous for it on their gold shield coins, which are these guys here. So you see it has a gold shield on the front, and this is an authentic one, by the way. And then on the back, you have the PCGS logo with the NFC capable chips. So what's very interesting to notice is, I can't really show this to you guys, but if you hold this one up to the light, you will see the NFC chip in there. With this one, you absolutely will not. Because it's not there, because they don't have that, they're not using that technology. But like I said, what they're doing is they're just copying. So that's another big dead giveaway. Another big dead giveaway on this coin is, if you look, this is actually a sticker. On a real PCGS coin, it is not a sticker. It's actually internal in the holder, but it's just a sticker. I mean, you could peel it off if you really wanted to. So another good key dead giveaway is the type of plastic that they used on this. This is very, very cheap plastic. You can feel the difference between an authentic PCGS holder. It's very thick. It's very robust. This, I feel like if I drop this coin, if I drop this slab on a concrete floor, it's just going to shatter, because it feels so brittle. It squeaks when you move it. It's just a very poor plastic. You can also see that there's a couple other things here. So the plastic isn't quite the right transparency. You see you have this kind of stippled effect on a real one. And I mean, we can even bring in another real one here that has the gold shield on it, so it'd be a little bit more in line. It's just, this is too transparent of plastic. And another big dead giveaway is the prongs on these guys are completely wrong. If you look, PCGS uses these 3 prongs that are kind of big and rubbery. These are just hard plastic, and there are 3, but they're very small. Another really good dead giveaway is, if you look in the lower right corner here, you have a PCGS logo. It's kind of hard to see on this video, but it is there. It says PCGS. You can kind of just make it out. On this one, doesn't exist at all. So that's pretty much all the big clues for the holder itself. The other thing is really just the dollar in general. This is actually a pretty darn good die struck fake. But when you really look at it, it just isn't quite right. The luster is very flat. They did a very good job of making it look like it is silver. The luster is fantastic because it is a struck coin. What they really do is they take authentic coins and they're 3D scanning them, and they're making dies out of that. So the coin itself looks decent-ish, but if you've seen enough of them, at one glance you know that there is something off about this one. So there you have it, my friends, the anatomy of a fake PCGS slab. Do not get fooled by these. Take a few minutes and do your research. And if you ever are not completely sure about a coin you're buying, don't buy it. What you need to remember, especially with coins like this, there are hundreds, if not thousands of them out there. You will find another nice 1899. It may take you a little bit of time, but you're going to save yourself a whole lot of heartache.